I need everybody to say, JP, play the movie.
Y'all already know what's going on, man. We back with another episode of Rivals, and some reason the aura in here just got real godly, man. A-War, what's going on, my brother? You too, man. Yo, we got history, you know what I mean, with each other. We had an iconic battle early on in your career, but I asked you off camera, but I'm gonna say this on camera because for you being a Christian godly man, you sure had a lot of rivalries, man.
Yeah, apparently so.
I'm gonna start with the obvious one because a lot of people that go against the machine, usually they're not successful. In your favor, you have been. Where did the URL, well, in your mind, where did the URL and A-Ward, like, rivalry start?
So it's funny, after my first battle ever, I got on Twitter, and mind you, I didn't know the Twitter battle rap world. I didn't know Facebook groups. I didn't know none of that. I was just always a fan of y'all. So if you heard something from me, it was in a YouTube comment. I thought that's how you watch battle rap. So my first battle goes viral, right? Then I'm getting added to all of these groups, and people are talking about it. Then I see a tweet, and it's from Queens Flip, and it's got a screenshot, and it says, "Me and Norbs are looking for this guy right now. Somebody get us his phone number," right? And I'm like, oh snap. So they call me, and they like, "Yo, we about to set up your first battle on URL." I've had one battle ever. They're like, "Yeah, we gonna fly out there. We got this other guy we want you to battle." He's like, "We're gonna fly out there. His name's B. I said, "Oh, they trying to kill me." I was like, oh, they think after my first battle.
Yeah, they trying to get you out there putting you against B.
I just seen what he did to Strick, like literally like 6 to 8 months before that. They were like, "Yeah, we gonna put you versus B. And I was just like, I said, I've always been a pretty mature and in tune with what I'm like, oh, they really trying to kill me, you know what I mean? So that being like the first experience with Queens Flip and Norbs, you know, trying to, and I know what they were doing, wanting to capitalize. We got the white Christian guy who just got 50,000 views on his first, and we got B. You know what I mean? And so that's when we kind of first had to back and forth. But I would say like, when I had to back out of my PG because I had labrum surgery, that's kind of when, and it was Norbs and P. The way that I thought I was the most professional. The way I gave them, tell them, here's what's going on. I'm so sorry. You know, you're paying for your own way when you do them jokes too. Yeah. I'm like, listen, we can reschedule, boom, boom. And they were just like, yeah, cool, whatever. You know what I mean? And I was like, dang. Like, so there became like a little bit of discourse there. So I just thought, you know what? Like, I'm very, very confident in what I do. And, you know, there might come a time in my career that I'm like, man, I need to find my way over there because things are getting slow, but they haven't yet, you know? Yeah. And so that's what's been beneficial. But yeah, it started all early.
So now where you at there when that actually starts, when do you know like, all right, it's on? Like, cause you know, you talking about P and Norbs, but do you feel like it was ever a shot from Smack or Beasley or the URL page where you're like, all right, now I can officially say, everybody on that side, it's on, like it's.
Yeah, I mean, it became that because in battle rap, everything's storylines. You know what I mean? And it became that, and like, for me, being the best non-URL battle rapper is that's dope. It's a talking point. You know what I mean? And it's like, so there are sometimes in interviews and sometimes in battles and stuff where I play that villain role and I feed into it. For sure. Now, Smack and Bees are like, man, he's a thorn in my side. You know what I mean? Like they're probably like, somebody just smoke him, get him up out of here. We don't want to hear him. We don't have to hear it, you know, because my words hold weight, you know. But I do know that like in the years of just the angles and material that I'm using against guys, you know, I'm getting ready to battle on URL. You think for a second, I don't think T-Top's gonna be like, everything you said about the app, you know what I mean? And now you know where this battle's about to go. You know, I know that because I have been that. I've utilized that as a attack, you know? And sometimes I think Smack and Bees probably will say, like, we understand it's battle rap, but at the same time, you be doing a little bit much, Ward. You know? So I think that's kind of like where we were at. So with all that being said, right, it's certain things you say, like when you say the stuff about the app and you're going against that. First of all, like me, I'm gonna congratulate you because most people will go at something, not just a company, but in life, they go at something from an emotional standpoint. I feel like your standpoint was strategic because you brought URL to you without having to go to URL. You see what I'm saying? So if you battle DNA, if you battle Cortez, if you battle Geechi Gotti, if you battle Averb, if you battle all these guys, and you're either having debatables or getting W's versus them, besides me, but nah, I'm messing with you. But I'm saying, like, even our battle is a great battle, all trolling aside.
it's now I just accomplished what I wanted to accomplish, and I'm still getting that viewership to look at me. But what was one of your things that was like, because I do believe, you know, the storyline of you're bigger without going over there, right, for a certain amount of time as you extended it, was working in your favor. But what was something that you was like, yo, this is what's stopping me? What stopped you? Because I know at some point you watch Caffeine happen, you watch all these big Summer Madnesses and Gnomes. What was like the breaking point for you? Like, I'm not compromising on my morals to not go over there. Like, what was the main thing?
It was the like, I need to feel like an asset. I need to feel like somebody you guys want over here and not somebody you want to lose, so that you can prove to the world it's different over here. I'm like, yo, if I come over there and the way we're negotiating and stuff is already, you know what I mean?
So that's like, no, I'm not doing a PG. After a certain point, you was like, no.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. You're not about to like be like, hey, we're gonna take what you've built and put it here and say that it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? And it's just like, I get it. It doesn't matter. You absolutely, it doesn't matter to y'all. It shouldn't matter to y'all. You know what I mean? But it does to me. You know what I mean? And so I think that that's what it was. It's like, yo, just realizing like when I had those conversations, and then more they happened with Bees and Smack. Like, you know, Bees, he was at the event after I battled Verb. You know, he congratulated me on my Verb battle and stuff like that. And it's like, yo, he's watching these battles. He knows, you know.
Yeah.
And so I think once I realized that, like, yo, and I could be wrong. Shit, we'll find out September 21st. But once I realized, you know, that like, hey, they value what I've done and, you know, want to make this a partnership rather than the whole, you're an artist, we're gonna develop. That's when I was just like, yo, if I don't feel that way, I'm not going over there. I never will, you know?
Yeah. So now we got to a point, right? And then also before we get to where, because I don't want to talk about the battle. I don't want to date the interview.
Yeah, my bad.
So no. We can talk about, because you're going there.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, but I'm saying I don't want to get into like the interview about T-Top. You know what I mean? We're going to see what happens. But what I'm saying is, when is there a point that you like, this is never gonna happen? Or is there a point when you like, I see this is about to happen? Do you have any of those moments in your career where you're like, yeah, the way it's looking, I'm never gonna go to URL, or I think I'm gonna get over there?
I mean, honestly, when they offered this, like, I didn't see that coming. You know what I mean? And so like the last few discussions that I had were all just like, and so I even jumped out the window. It's like, hey, don't call me if it's not this amount. Just because I wanted to weed out all of the like, of the, hey, but you know, we got this might be going on. Don't call me. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I didn't take that. I took less than that amount because they're like Summer Madness. You know what I mean? So it's like, but up until, the week before I accepted the battle, I was just like, might not ever happen, you know? And I was like, man, that sucks because it's a bucket list opportunity for me. I want to do it, you know what I mean? I was like, I just don't have that good of a communication with the people that I feel like I need to talk to.
Yeah, you know what I want to say though, right? And I think that this is never said when people see stuff like this, like, you're an anomaly. Most people that try to do
I tell people, don't follow
that's what I was saying. When you watch WWE and that shit comes on and says, don't try this at home, don't try this at home. Because it takes, it's just like in real life, you know, when you make the decision if you're gonna go to college or be a high school dropout, you become an anomaly, because most people that do that, you come back and you'll see your teacher, or you just, life gets the best of you, and then they say, damn, this is why you should have went to school. But it's always that one person that is able to, their dedication and discipline, working hard, that beats the odds. And I feel like that was you in this situation. Now, moving forward to that, right, I also think the URL thing coincides, because I don't know how to slip my mind when I'm processing the interview. I'm like, the biggest rivalry you have, which damn near the new face of URL up until, as of recent, Geechi Gotti.
Yeah.
So, and to me, I look at that, right? I look at that like Kanye versus 50.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? Remember when Kanye and 50 went head to head for the Graduation and Curtis album? That's you and Geechi. How does that even happen? Because I feel like the first battle was just him taking a money grab, right? So,
and I think that ties in with the whole URL thing. Is like the reason why they want to sign to these contracts and be able to have somewhat of is because they probably looking at Geechi like, bro, you battling Suge on, I think it was Known, and next week or something like.
Yeah, that's what happened.
Why are you letting this dude go crazy on you in Wichita, Kansas? You know what I mean? Like that's just how we it's a battle like that that spurs those conversations of like, yo, y'all, all money ain't good money, y'all. Don't you know?
But y'all was going at it.
Yeah.
Like where did the rivalry with you and Geechi get to like?
Yeah.
Because it wasn't gonna go past battle rap, but it was intense. Like,
yeah.
How did it get?
Because right afterwards he jumped out the window online. It was just like, I didn't take that battle serious, whatever. And Coffee, which I didn't know her at the time yet, she jumps on like, y'all, and I'm just like, man, I just went out here and got crazy, had a great performance, and now they're just kind of like basically shitting on me, And I'm just like, yo, so that's kind of where it started or whatever. And so then my fans, bro, you click Twitter and it's got John 1110, and they a Ward fan, every time you go to one, they were just on his head, bro.
Yeah.
On Geechi's head, and they was cooking him, man. And then like his trajectory.
No, because I was gonna say
he didn't have to spin the block, but because he was doing this and I was doing this, and it was always like that. Yeah, but A Ward got you up out of here,
No, but because what's so crazy is right, and you like an ally for us at the time, because the same year you do that, he wins his first Cody.
Yeah.
Right. So that's when Sean is doing what Sean is doing, and NWX, we advocating that Sean is Cody. So our main vocal point is how the hell you gonna give Geechi Gotti the belt and A-Ward 30 them. So how does that make you, like, what do you say to yourself when you, cause I'm looking at it from your lens, all right? Like, boom, you're not on URL at this time. You got this rivalry with Geechi. You catch the 30 on him, but then the people, you know what I mean? Because we're not gonna throw it on Jay Black. He's just a facilitator. Yeah. The people give him the belt. So what do you say to yourself? Do you feel at that point all the entities are working, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I rock with Jay Black heavily.
Me too, that's my guy.
But it became so evident how much of a popularity contest like some things were when it came down to really looking at where you're putting people, you know what I mean? And it's dang near impossible to judge somebody who has 3 battles against somebody who has 21, you know, and figure it out. But yeah, like that was another thing. That fueled the URL, the rivalry, the Geechi rivalry. It's like all of these different people are like, yeah, he didn't care. Yeah, you can't do that over here. Yeah, but he had Suge on URL. Our battles matter. Your battles don't. Like when you're doing the Cody voting, they're like, yo, all right, Ward, but you battled him in Wichita in a ballet studio on 240, P, whatever their phone camera, and that's when you realize like, yo, all of that stuff, like, goes into, how people are viewing things. And the worst thing about battle rap, man, is when it's your peers, a lot of times in order to uplift yourself, you have to put them down. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. And it's like, it sucks because you're like, yo, these are good people, but nah, he's not as good as me. Nah, I smoked him. Nah, you know what I mean? And so, yeah, it makes it tough.
So when y'all go to battle in part 2, first of all, what makes you say yes to go battle him?
That's the most money I've ever made in the battle rap.
Yeah?
Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
Because y'all did business.
Yeah, and pay-per-view sales and all of that.
And this is when pay-per-view was still.
Yeah. Okay. And so, like, it was that.
So that's what makes you say yes.
That's what
makes me say yes, too.
Yeah, I still the funniest story to this day.
And where y'all at this time? By the time y'all get to 2, is it understood now this is business, or was it still real with the rivalry?
No, it was still like on some like, now we're doing it on the Riot, which is, his league.
Yeah.
We're doing it in Compton Airport. And that just all feels it, right? I'm like,
but you got nothing to lose. You're a Christian in Compton.
You need to be, on your block. You need to have your people on your league. All right, watch this. You know what I mean? You think there was a fluke? Watch this. You know what I mean? And so like, yo, like that was, it was all a part of the story, And that was my first battle on the Riot, because I had got booked for Coffee and she no-showed before.
Yeah, and so, I remember that story.
Like all of that kind of stuff was feeding into it. Like, yo, the first lady of Riot no-showed me. She was one of the ones talking crazy. Now we got, coming to spin a block on Geechi. But yeah, the business was great with them. I knew that they wanted that matchup, and in his defense, he won Cody that year too. Yeah. when I won it 3 times, right? Yeah, when I battled him the second time, he won it as well. And but yeah, it's definitely the business was great with Riot, and then I was up for the challenge. I was like, all right, y'all gonna tell me for the last 3-4 years since I battled him the first time, it's only cause here. I'm like, all right, stack them all against me. Well, what else you got? You know what I mean? And so yeah, we went to war.
So where you feel like y'all 1-1 or?
No, it was 2-0.
2-0?
2-0, yeah.
Compliment battle, you got too?
Ah, that's a close one. That I ain't gonna lie. He might have got the compliment battle.
Okay.
Yeah, he might have got the compliment battle.
Okay. So now we get rid of that rivalry. Averb, where does that, for you to be such a man of God, how do you and Averb cross paths to where it gets that real?
Yeah, that was one of them ones that's like, it's like, yo, you're not my peer. You're not my friend. I don't like you. I don't rock with you. You know what I mean? And I don't have very many battles that I've ever written. Like, I think I'm 120 battles in now. And like, I've got 2 battles that I've ever written that I'm like, I'm picturing the fight.